Hi all, I'll try to make this as brief and unbiased as possible. I met my boyfriend a year ago, we have always had protected love, I'm on the pill, and he wears a rubber. I have no idea what happened, but I still managed to get pregnant. I immediately decided to get an abortion. I asked my boyfriend if he could come and support me through the procedure. He said he didn't want to take a day off. Full disclosure, if it gives insight, he works from home taking contracts as a programmer, makes $150K a year, and can take off whenever he feels like it. So whatever, he told me he wasn't coming and that I had to take care of it. This was a week ago. The procedure was yesterday and it went as well as can be expected. I went to his house afterwards and he told me he had a surprise for me. It was a small, child-sized bowl with cutesy animals on it. I thanked him, but mentioned that this was maybe not the best gift as I just had a tough day and was emotional at best. He then told me he had a wonderful day with his family and proceeded to show me a video of his father and nephew doing egg hunts together and the father teaching the nephew to wash his hands, etc. So I immediately started bawling because I just terminated a pregnancy. It wasn't wanted and I don't regret it, but it doesn't mean I feel sensitive about it. He became very cold and asked me to stop crying, saying that I was overreacting and he was just trying to make me feel better. He didn't apologize and we went to bed upset. I woke up in the middle of the night because I was cramping and sore, so I went on his couch and had a good cry. Apparently, that woke him up because he came to ask me if I was going to continue crying for long and told me to turn off the lights as soon as possible because I was being inconsiderate. Am I the idiot? I feel like he doesn't give a rat's back about me and is being disrespectful. He says it's the pregnancy hormones making me whiny. Not the idiot. Hold up. Your boyfriend said that he couldn't come to this very important and personal procedure with you because he didn't want to take off work when he definitely could have. The procedure was on Easter, and then he told you that he spent most of the day with his family on Easter anyway. Sounds like he took off a big chunk of work to do that, but couldn't be there for you. That alone makes him a major idiot, but the fact that he has absolutely zero empathy or compassion for what you're going through is insane and also pretty alarming. Not the idiot. But, let me play devil's advocate. You said that you decided to get an abortion, which whatever, it's your right, your body, etc. But did your boyfriend want to keep the baby? If so, he could be upset that you took away that opportunity from him. Again, it's your body and your choice, I'm not judging you. But, the way you said he's acting makes it seem like he was trying to guilt you about aborting the baby, which could be because he actually wanted it. Could also be, as someone above said, he doesn't think it was him who got you pregnant. Not the idiot. Your boyfriend seems to lack basic human empathy, which is quite frankly the mother of all red flags. Your boyfriend can feel however he wants about abortion. Maybe to him, it wasn't a big deal, but an actual empathic human would realize that this procedure happened to you, someone he loves, and that he should care about and be sensitive to your emotions about it. To be honest, he sounds cartoonishly insensitive at best and downright narcissistic at worst. I think it might be time to seriously ask yourself if this man sparks joy. Bit of context, my mouth and my stomach don't really get along with very spicy food. My partner's family is Mexican, so everything they eat has to be covered in the devil's ketchup. Also, I've been living with my partner for 5 years now, and she was recently diagnosed with diabetes. Her mother has started to come often to prepare food for her while she is at work. I work from home, so I let my in-law in when I'm here. My partner and I buy our own food and cook it. I prepare salsas for her, and she adds to her served dish. When she cooks, she takes out my portion and then cooks hers by mixing in peppers and incorporates it with her own salsas. We also ration what we buy on a weekly basis. For instance, if we buy 5 pounds of ground meat for the week, we will ration it in 1-pound bags and put them in the freezer in case we want to change how we prepare it. Since her mother started to cook, she's been preparing all of the meat in the freezer even when it's rationed, and will mix it with the sauces and peppers, so even if I can definitely eat it, my stomach will hate and remind me about it for hours, and I rather not be graphic, but spicy food will take me out of commission, plus I won't even be able to taste anything as my mouth will be on fire. I have talked to her and asked to please leave some of the frozen food so I may prepare some for myself, but she tells me that I need to man up and eat the food she prepares. I've explained the way hot food affects my stomach is not my decision and I just can't help it, but she will continue to cook all of the week's food and make it all spicy. This went on for a couple of weeks, but today it really pissed me off as it's the end of the week. I don't have money yet as my money can't get transferred during the weekend, so I won't have money to buy more food until Tuesday, and I was really looking forward to prepare some dishes throughout the weekend. I came home to my in-law, girlfriend has now given her a key, having finished cooking the rest of our meat, chicken, and fish, and made it all spicy. I raised my voice and asked, why would she think her daughter is the only human living in our house who needs to eat, and why does she insists on making food that I cannot eat when I've told her to leave some of it in the freezer so I may prepare it. She insists it's more economical and acts like she owns the kitchen that she is cooking with and just told me to eat with a glass of water. I'm beyond mad at this point and told her to just leave and give the key back as she is not welcomed here if she won't respect the ways things are done in my home. Not the idiot, because obviously, you are entitled to consume the food that you purchase and keep in your own home however the hell you want. Your monster-in-law is a total idiot for continually steamrolling over you in your own home or kitchen, and your partner is an idiot for not only allowing, but facilitating such crappy treatment towards you. If you have to, change the damn locks and get a single do not duplicate key cut for your partner, since she can't be trusted to protect your home from invaders. That is so unkind of her. My mom goes out of her way to accommodate a variety of diets when she cooks for others. It seems, though, that there could have been a compromise. Instead of cooking at your house, can your mother-in-law cook at hers and you just give her groceries or grocery money? Or she only cooks 1 or 2 times a week and you do your grocery around outside of those dates. It isn't the best solution, but it might be a potential workaround if you still need her help in cooking. Not the idiot. Your partner needs to deal with this as soon as possible. Since this is not your family, she is the one who needs to set these boundaries and be on your side because you doing it obviously isn't working. It's pretty obvious that you have been very overly accommodating up until this point and that you care about your partner a lot. There is no reason to be so disrespected in your own home, and I can only imagine how inconvenient this is for you. My husband has post-traumatic stress disorder and manages it as well as I think a person can. He tries not to let it get in the way of stuff we like to do. But as a result of this, we've skipped 4th of July and New Year's fireworks in 2018 and 2019. We used to go with my parents for those because they're close by and it was a tradition. He's not too bad anymore, it used to be really bad. As long as he's mentally prepared he doesn't get triggered by loud sounds anymore, for example, watching movies is fine now. Fireworks seem to be the exception to this, at least viewing them. My mother hasn't been appreciative of this. Every time we missed an event I got a barrage of texts how he's probably just faking it to keep me from seeing her. I've told her off multiple times, but try and keep peace because my dad is great. But this New Year she crossed a line. Since we weren't going to the fireworks, she said she wanted to come to our house so we could still celebrate. At around 10 when no fireworks had started, yet so my husband wasn't prepared, we were all sitting in the living room, except my mom, and she comes running out of the kitchen banging a metal spoon on a pot as hard as she could. This of course triggered my husband. I won't get into it, but he was pretty rattled. I kicked her and my dad out and told her not to call or text. My dad has been calling me saying that we should work something out because he wants to see me, but she won't let him unless she gets to go too. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, holy crap. I mean, who does that? What a horrific thing to do to somebody. 100% not the idiot and probably the hero of a lot of people who wish their spouse would support them. What your mother did was absolutely wrong, and it's obvious from even this short post that she had no respect for your husband's mental health and well-being. Good for you for throwing them out. She's trying to use your dad as a way to weasel her way around the consequences of her disgusting actions. Not the idiot. Your mother is an abuser and your dad is her enabler. Does your dad honestly not think what she did was wrong? I'm assuming that your husband is a veteran, judging by the things that trigger him. She's such an idiot to have done that to him. You would be well within your rights to A. Tell the entire extended family what she did, B. Never talk to her again, and C. God, put it on Facebook and tag her stupid back so all of her friends see what she's like. I understand if you wouldn't do the last one or any of these, of course. Not the idiot. You're doing the right thing by protecting your husband and having his back. It's a shame that your dad is enough under her control that he doesn't feel able to come see you on his own. When you wrote that your mother had accused your husband of trying to stop you from seeing her, my first thought was, people usually make that sort of accusation when it's something they would do themselves, and apparently it is. All I can think to do is to stay firm and loving. Tell your dad that you love him, you'd very much like to see him, but your mother isn't welcome. So this past weekend my husband and I went to see our in-laws after months of lockdown. It was just the four of us for dinner at their home. Anyways, I'm mixed race, and mom is Chinese. I was showing a picture of my mom's side of the family having hot pot and saying that once the pandemic is over my aunt and uncle from Shanghai want to visit us and we would have really authentic hot pot at home. Well, as we start discussing what hot pot is, my father-in-law chimes in with a, well, you better make sure to keep Bottles, my dog, in your side on hot pot night. I was like, what do you mean? And he joked about how there's no fresher meat around than my living dog, and we all know how those people can't resist eating dogs. I'm in shock and argued back that no one in my family is going to eat my freaking elderly dog when they visit, but both my mother-in-law and father-in-law just laugh and says it's a joke, and my husband just rolls his eyes, gives me a shrug, but he laughs too. This is where I may be an idiot. I was just super freaking mad, and the more I thought about it the madder I got, so I eventually got up and said, thanks for the dinner, but I think I need to leave now, and started gathering my things. My husband is like, whoa, hold on, but I was basically out the door. We then have a mini argument by the car where I said I don't care, I just want to go home, and my husband eventually agreed and we drove home together. The next morning he was super pissed off at me and said I acted like a child on a tantrum. I felt a little guilty but also still pretty mad that he didn't even think to defend me. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Honestly, OP, they're lucky you didn't make a larger deal, or that you're still willing to even stay in contact with them. They accused your family of eating dogs. What the actual hell? In your shoes, that would be the moment I'd say I don't remain in contact with them, and they'd be lucky if I agreed to meet them in public for restricted amounts of time, so they couldn't make me put up with their crappy bigotry. Plus your husband trying to make it your problem his parents are like that, actually thinking your husband is too for not seeing this as a problem. Not the idiot. I've sat there with my father-in-law whining about Chinese immigrants stealing our jobs. Yeah, my grandfather with 3 degrees and grandmother with a doctorate in chemistry. Not competing for jobs at his level given he didn't finish high school. My grandmother was smuggled illegally by boat out of China. If she were caught, she likely would have been killed on sight. She's 100 times worthier of my respect than he will ever be, given the lengths she went to ensure I grew up privileged in this country. In my culture, it's not a joke to insult the ancestors of your guests. Not the idiot. It was a cruel joke, and your husband should have backed you up. You didn't act like a child, you acted like an adult who had the self-respect and dignity to not be around people who denigrate you. Maybe your husband is super pissed at himself because instead of calling out his dad and mom for crapping on his wife for no good reason, he laughed along with them. If you guys have a kid and they make a joke like that, is your husband going to laugh then too? Make a child hate who they are. Last week my wife had to drop what she was doing and head straight to her mother's house because her mom had something really important to share with her. She has 3 sisters, and they were all there too. Apparently, their mother dropped some type of bomb on them that has changed their lives. My wife won't tell me what it is. She came home in tears that night. I asked her what happened, and she told me that her mother made her swear not to tell anyone. My wife doesn't hide anything from me, she tells me everything. I just can't imagine what this might be. She's been crying about it for days, and she just says she can't tell me. I asked her if it was something health related and if someone is dying, and she told me no. I asked her if this secret is going to rip her family apart, and she said yes. But that's all she will tell me. I just can't seem to figure it out. We usually take her mom and dad out to eat a few times a month. Last week I asked if she wanted to invite her parents out to eat with us, and she said no. She told me some stuff went down and that I won't be seeing her parents for a good while. She told me that we won't be going to visit them for a while. This is very strange because they are a very close family and we visit them at least once per week. She says that I will not be able to visit them anymore and that only she can go over there now. This is so strange because they are such a close family and not being able to visit anymore is just so strange. It hurts me that she can't share something as serious as this with me. We are married and big secrets like this should not exist. If it were the other way around, I would absolutely tell her whatever it was. She's upset and saying that I'm making this about us when it's about her parents and her family. But we are married, I thought I was part of the family too now. Am I the idiot here? No idiots here. She was asked not to disclose this to anyone. So I understand that she may not want to break that promise. But if this continues to be a distraction for her, she may want to see about talking with a professional counselor or therapist so that she can process it a little better. As for you, I totally understand why you would get upset. But give it time. Eventually, she'll come around and tell you what happened. In the meantime, don't push it too hard. If you let this one thing ruin your relationship with her, you'll become an idiot. Not the idiot. You definitely have the right to be upset. I'd like to say no idiots here, but this seems extreme. When you marry someone, you also marry their family. Whatever the situation, I'm sure that a married couple can understand the type of stress this would put on a marriage. I can understand if this is a short-term, week, or two thing that needs to be sorted out before bringing more family in on it. But it does sound extreme. OP, I hope you and your family weather the situation well. Not the idiot, that pisses me off too. You're a part of your wife's life. This isn't just about her family, it's about her. If she's gonna cry and mope around and then keep the drama ratcheted up by saying she can't say a word, then she should tell you. My wife and I had a rule, no secrets. Someone tells us don't tell anyone, or especially don't tell your husband or wife, we would openly share it. We didn't overreact, we didn't make a big deal no matter what it was. But what she knew, I knew. And vice versa. Only exception was surprise presents or parties for special occasions.